Hey, 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 Nicola Light here, remembering us all back into our light. I hope you all well and are doing the things that you're doing and doing them really well and playing the game Earth and all of that jazz. And losing my way of actually speaking because I'm really very conscious that I've got a guest with us today. Um, and here she is. She's a very, very good friend of mine and I love her dearly. It is Inga Arnes, and she is a powerhouse. She is my go-to if I'm in a big oof and I say, Inga! And we have very, very beautiful conscious conversations. And today I really wanted to have a conscious conversation and record it for you all to see the sort of things that we talk about. Inga, how are you today?
I'm good. Uh, Blasted, but good. It's been some amazingly intense days, like more than intense, right?
Mm.
And always when that happens, it's like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on, right?
Yeah, 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 definitely.
And
Definitely.
I'm a person. I just want to make things simple.
Yeah, yeah.
So I asked my soul, okay, how can I simplify this for myself? What's really going on, right? And she said that, well, you're just healing the separation within. And
Oh,
that's
that's
what you came
you
with.
come out with these really
Yeah.
beautiful nuggets. Before we get into the conversation, I would like just for you to sort of like let our listeners sort of understand who is Inga and
Mm.
what sort of things do you do in in your journey. So just because I have got you on a playlist, but it would be really good if we've got some new subscribers to my YouTube channel to actually understand the power that you hold. So and the intelligence. So please stick with this conversation because there will be so many beautiful nuggets of information come out of Inca's lips. So tell me a little bit about your journey.
Well, I'm one of those who came into this incarnation with a lot of memories intact, and uh, but I had what we call a greater awakening after harmonic convergence in '87. And I started to step into more formal education like past life therapist, healing. I've been trained in understanding and explaining dream states.
Mm,
I've done massage. I've worked with aspect, sexual energy, empowerment and abuse. Done a lot of coaching, channeling, and all this stuff. And I went on with that more or less until 2019, where I got this very strong message to stop doing it because my energy had to be rewired to step into new energy. And that everything that I have done have been right for that time, but now it was time for me to shift gear
mm,
and step into that. And with that also came the focus of not holding complete focus to uh, all these things we have been going through, past traumas and all this stuff. And
mm,
although that would still kind of be clearing out, the main focus would be into the new. So it just drew a line for me.
yeah.
And since then, it just and then we got COVID and all these things, right? So we everybody get like a year of of inward introspection and all these things, right?
Yeah.
Everything closed out, go inwards, and since then it's just developed a lot. I still do coaching. But all the other things I don't. But I do the coaching in order to support people in supporting themselves so that they don't need to go linger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's that big sort of shifts that we're going through yet again.
Yes,
It
it is.
feels like, that sort of that wave of energy that came in that shifted you out of all of those sort of different practices, which you got that firm foundation of information, and then
Mm.
then now it's shifting yet again. And I had a
Yeah.
conversation with my higher self the other day, and she was saying, you know, this new upsurge is bringing in something completely different for you, Nicola. And I don't know about you, Inga, but it's almost like you master something to a degree, and then you start getting a little bit bored. And then you're like, what's new? What's new? and that's the next stage that we're at, and these are where the energies are coming in. And if people have been on their journey for a while, they're getting upsurges, which is quite interesting, isn't it?
It is, and what you say is so profound because the boredom I can relate to because everything I've done has kind of been to more for myself than for others because it was to remind me
Mm.
of my inner knowledge, of what I could, of my capacity, understanding myself and getting deeper into myself. And then, of course, when I've done healing a while and I understand my healing capacity and where my role in that went,
Mm.
and I couldn't go on with what I have done because that was boring, that would keep me stagnant. So I have to push myself to go on to a different level
Yeah, I
in
think that's
everything.
where the ego is really beautiful to embrace rather than
Mm,
actually try and separate ourselves from the ego, because the ego
mm,
actually um, gives us the opportunity to shift and change by saying, "I'm bored."
mm,
We must sort of see, from my perspective anyway, and I'm sure yours, that we need to embrace the ego rather
mm,
than out you go, and so it's that blend and balance between higher self embodied and
mm,
the wonderful sort of sense of being human.
mm,
So
mm.
important.
It is, and when you start deprogramming yourself, you find out that the ego changes a lot and becomes one of your best friends in order to navigate. I know without my ego, I would continuously go on about red and green light when I was going to cross the light because my higher self wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah. So that absolute basics is to keep you
Yeah,
safe from
yeah,
not being
yeah,
run over,
yeah.
and to move us forward on the evolution of our soul's journey. So
Definitely.
yeah, so for anybody listening here, please embrace your ego and
Mm,
honor the emotions that come up during these processes of really getting to know who we are not so that we rise into who we truly are.
yeah.
So with the energies that are coming in, especially over Easter, how did you find Easter? I found it really intense and lots of lessons coming in.
Well, I had more naps in the Eastern that I've had the entire year. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I experienced a lot was almost like it went to my pineal.
Mm,
And my higher self showed me my pineal almost function like, when we were kids, we took this piece of paper and we cut holes and we shine a light through and you got a pattern,
mm,
right?
mm.
And she said when my pineal was activated, it was like we made more holes in the piece of paper so that different patterns became visible for my eyes and for me to understand and kind of for my consciousness to grasp through a human being. So it's like when that light shines through my body, it creates a reality around me for Inger to experience.
Oh,
Okay, when you change the way that light moves through by clearing out things, there's a
yeah,
different pattern, a different reality that is becoming visible for Inger.
yeah.
I can evolve and kind of have a different kind of experience.
Mm. I love that so much. It reminds me of what you sort of, those sort of geometric patterns, and I see the sort of plates behind you that you've beautifully painted and
Yeah.
designed and was downloaded some time ago now.
Mm.
um, is the old kaleidoscope. Do you
Yeah.
remember those? You used to look
Yes. Oh,
through,
yeah.
and then they fascinated me, and I
Yeah.
didn't realize until I started getting visions of these geometric shapes that were coming in at me, consciousness coming in with golden light and like codes galore, that I'd be like, oh, it's like a kaleidoscope. And that's why I was so fascinated as a child, because it was the fabric of the universe,
It was, yeah.
and all of that sort of now increasing within your frequency, that you're starting to see those new patterns come in. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it is. And what I feel I need to do with all this energy, I need to actually exercise more because I feel that my body needs a different type of body strength.
Yeah,
I've actually gone into standing yoga with weights. Yada!
that's
I'm so
really
impressed by myself.
that's so interesting. I had a call yesterday with a lady that was having a lot of back pain issues,
Yeah.
and it was going up to her neck and into her fingers, and she said, "Oh, I might have to have an operation." I was like,
Mm. Yeah.
Um, and I did her session with her. I had a message from her today saying she's got no back pain. Now, I wonder why. It's because you need to move your spine and clear the energy moving through your central column of light. So we're going to
Yes.
be doing some work together on that. And
Yeah.
you know who you are if you're watching this. I'm not going to give any names away. But it's so important. If this
Mm.
energy is coming in to flush the physical body, you need
Mm.
to move your physical body to shift it out of the system. So important. You know, and you say weighted yoga. That's interesting. I've not heard of that.
I have had some issue with some nerves and stuff with my
Mm.
right leg, so I had certain challenges. Yeah. So I'm not a person who, because of that, feel comfortable going into a studio or something simply because I can't do what all everybody else do. And when I do different things, it can challenge my balance.
Yeah.
So I found this amazing woman on YouTube. So I can stand in front of my computer in my cozy t-shirt and everything in the morning with my weights, and I can do what I can. And I've done it for over 3 months now, and I'm impressed by the way my body receives it. So I actually started sitting on a chair with no weights, and then I went to standing and weights, and now I'm kind of expanding, and my body just loves it. And for the first time in since 2007, it holds to it. It doesn't collapse. It holds to it.
That's
So for
nice.
me, the combination of stretching
Yeah.
and kind of challenging my muscles a bit is amazing.
Yeah.
And I also see that because when you see into the body and you see the blockages, they are like kind of black glue or plates or dark plates over the physical system, laying over the muscles, infiltrated muscles and stuff. And you need to stretch it a bit in order to get it going.
Mm-mm-mm.
You save yourself a lot of pain and
Yeah.
irritation and all this stuff just by daring to move a bit.
Mm.
And also because of this energy that came in Eastern, many people felt ungrounded because we were so expanding through the pineal and all these glands and upper heart and chest and all these things, right? So
Yeah.
for me, get out and get going.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the
I
best.
must say, actually, when I went to Turkey this year,
Mm.
Inga came out for some time with me, and my son came over at the time, so it's a little bit personal. But I'm going to share this because Inga is Norwegian. There are many mountains, and there are many mountains in Turkey, and we went up some mountains, and Inga, my son, who's 21 at the time, is now 22. Inga and my son would go up that hill like mountain goats. Well, Nicola was like, I'll sit here and pet the dog. You know, your physical body is in such good shape, and I know that you're sort of saying that, you know, you've had issues, but you would never have noticed that. And now that you're doing weighted yoga, you're going to be like, woof, up the top of these mountains now.
Yeah, but it's about don't letting whatever, there can be things that you experience as a hindrance, but you can't let it stop it because there's always a way to navigate around that and do it anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The power of the mind.
Exactly,
Power of
exactly.
the
That's
mind.
a lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
it's
lot.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, is there any other practice that you do other than moving the physical body a little bit more now?
Actually, I actually started one a few months ago too that I find very interesting in order to support myself in shifting even more into the new, right?
Mm,
And it actually came from a channeling I had when I channeled Isis back in the beginning of the year of 2003, I think, where she kind of took a group into the new earth to have an experience. And when everybody came back and all this stuff, she said that, well, none of you actually went to the new earth because you recreated the best of the old.
mhm.
And that one have kind of glued to my mind. And since we have been so focused on the new and creating new and everything, and what I see coming up a lot, and it's not that it's wrong, but it's not something I want to regret. It's about our new Atlantis and new Lemurian and all this stuff. I don't want Atlantis back. I don't want Lemurian back. It was an amazing time, but they did not have the wisdom and the experience of duality that we as humans have today.
I love that so much. Yeah.
Yeah, so if we were to return to that, I don't feel that we would kind of experience what we expected, but something different.
Yeah.
But it was a very powerful learning time.
Yeah.
So if something is new, as my soul says, that means it's new. It haven't been thought before, it haven't been experienced before.
Mm, mm, mm.
So what I'm doing is more kind of go into a space of emptiness.
Love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then my higher self reminded me of something that I know a lot, sort of, I'm sure a lot of people practice, is that when you wake up every morning, before you start to step into the reality, try to tell yourself, okay, I'm opening my eyes and I never seen the roof of my bedroom before. I never seen the reality around me before. How does it feel?
Mm,
How do I translate this reality into my system? And
mm.
when I meet someone that I know, meet them as you've never ever seen them before. And then you will figure out you have a lot of ideas about how they are and how they should be, and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
That we kind of are glued to them
Yeah.
out from our experiences with them and
Mm.
of the time. So kind of take that away and look
Yeah.
at Nicola. Oh, you're a beautiful woman. I never seen you before. I love your hair. Just like that. Yeah. So you just take away everything,
Mm,
every concept you have about
yeah.
people, and
Mm,
that changed your relationship to people a lot.
mm. There's a lot
And
of information that's been coming through, and it comes through in batches
Mhm,
when I get information, and then I present that on the channel. And my latest thing
mhm,
is about relationships
mhm, mhm,
and the sense of the movement into unification
mhm.
and deepening into non-judgment of
Yeah,
people's spiritual growth,
yeah.
and moving into mastery and empowerment and all of that that goes with it. And also sort of looking at individuals that I call my kryptonite people and looking at them from
Mm,
that lens, like you were speaking of. It's that
mm,
beautiful lens of, okay, without any preconceptions of past conversations and
mm,
triggers and mirroring that they show me,
mm,
how can I look at them completely different with a compassionate heart? And I
mm,
must say, since I've been working and communicating with this particular individual in a certain way, is actually shifted her.
mm.
And and I'm seeing a difference within the communication rather than this boo 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 boo. And so relationships are really sort of shining for us to see again our mirrors inside of ourselves and how we're evolving through the journey, interacting with other people as well, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely, totally. And I had, as we all have, sometimes you can have things that you have experienced in life that you feel, oh, I'd never be capable of forgiving myself for that, right? And one time I was out walking, something plopped up, and I said to myself, oh my God, what does it take to get this away? And she said, maybe you should think different around it. And then she said, okay, let's make this very simple so that your human can understand it. And she said, think about this. Everything you've ever experienced has been the consciousness's possibility to experience that vibration, nothing else.
Mm.
So when you have like a past life experience that you didn't like, that was nothing else but the way the consciousness experienced that vibration. And then the consciousness learned when I go on that vibration, things happen like this.
Mhm.
Experience that vibration, things happen like this. Try to see it that way.
Yeah.
Don't take everything personal. Stop identifying with what you came down to experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop identifying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you obviously, if you want to identify
Mm.
with things, that's obviously a
Yeah.
subconscious understanding from our mind and our ego
Yes.
perspective of our reality. So it's, although the words stop doing that,
Yes.
it's, so you have free will to do whatever, but it is that stopping or
Yes.
evolving through the journey of, yeah, stop. It's a strong word, stop. So, but I'm going to use it. It's
Mm.
it's it's the identification of this, or this is that you are my kryptonite person. There you go.
Mm.
There's an identification and a label
Mm.
that I slapped on that individual
Mm.
already.
Mm.
So now I need to almost like decompose the way that I feel about that individual
Mm.
so that I can rise through the journey of it so that I'm not putting a label on and identifying with that individual and identification of who am I. So it's that
Exactly.
two-way sort of duality in itself of I see
Mm.
that in you and then I see this in me and identifying with where we sit and as we merge together.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, identification is a big one and that sort of really deepening
Mm.
into all of that, the identification sort of sits and
Yeah,
how
and
we
that
see.
is kind of humans' biggest issue, if to call it that, because everybody identify with their experiences.
Yes,
Like, I am sick, I am broke, I am sad, I am everything. You're not your experience. The I am never gets broke or sad or anything.
yeah, yeah,
So, and that's what my higher self talk about when he said talk is about the separation.
yeah.
You said what you're doing, you're healing the separation with who you believe yourself to be and the one you truly are. Because
Mm.
if I say I'm sick, I have a separation. I've separated myself from my health.
Yeah, yeah.
As you
Yeah,
said, that's what we are doing right now. We are bridging the separation within in
yeah.
absolutely everything. And you can use it no matter what you're experiencing.
Mm.
The
The,
I
the
am and the I am not.
yeah,
Yeah.
the relationship, sorry to interrupt. The relationship also that will just
It
pop
is, yeah.
into my head
Yeah.
is the relationship within ourselves.
Yes.
So it's not always outside of ourselves. It's how
Mm.
we see ourselves and our relationship and the self-talk and
Yeah.
how we see ourselves and how we would nurture ourselves, master the movement through the journey, identify, empower ourselves, however it seems
Mm.
to be. It's
Mm. Mm.
really being transparently presented for us to, it's like this. Can
Yeah.
you see it yet? It's really like in your face with these energies that are moving through us now. It feels like there's a more of a movement of transparency of the energies that are coming in.
There is, and we also have to be aware of that we have released a lot,
Yeah,
even though we're not aware of it. That the consequence of that is often that our deepest, most darkest secrets within suddenly becomes very, very visible because there aren't all these little things to
yeah,
hide behind anymore.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Have you got any light codes, Inga? Because I know that you are such a beautiful light language presenter,
Well,
expressionist. Is there anything
yeah,
that you want to sort of present with an intention for people to have a little look at and sort of see what is there anything that you would like to bring forward? It's just popped into my mind to ask you for some reason.
you want to bring some codes?
Mm.
Okay.
Dahil yan
Yeah.
siya. Mm.
Yeah, that could be interesting since we had
You
a
can sort of, yeah,
yeah, Eastern and all these things with all the shift and
yeah,
also the shifts within me to see what comes out.
yeah. See what
And
comes up and
what I'm,
we'll
yeah,
come back.
because what I've been feeling also over Eastern is that in order for us to totally create this new, we don't need to, I mean, there is deprogramming that you use codes for.
Mm.
You remove all programming and you bring in something that is more in alignment with who you truly are. But then there is these key codes
Key
that shift
guides.
big time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm feeling.
They are powerful.
exactly. And I
They're
think
really,
there's a lot of those
yeah.
coming.
And we exchange key codes all the time, don't we?
Living. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So if
Definitely.
you're sort of listening in and you're still with us,
Mm,
just let us know that you got to this point by writing in the comment key codes and like invoking Inga's key codes for you all, because it's really essential that it sort of takes you to another level, a key code. And
mm,
it's a very conscious understanding that these are codes that unlock things
mm.
within people. So that would be amazing, Inga, if you can bring some key codes
Yeah,
in.
I will. And I got a very strong feeling that this is something we are going to bring to do together because I feel I can bring something. But so many times when we have worked, we have seen that I can present a part of it and then you come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like we hook in.
Oh, yeah. It's like you're very blue there, and I've got a lot of green in my field. So it's like we are in resonance of energy, but there is this sort of yin yang sort of feeling between us today, which will assist
Definitely.
people with this presentational codes. So if you
Yes.
know my work, then set your intentions. Know the whole process of receiving codes is to settle down into your body, really
Mhm.
breathe the codes in, and embrace them into your deeper knowing of self so that it sparks the next evolution of your soul's journey. And I'll bring you some
Mhm.
codes as well to sort of amplify or to consolidate or however that is.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we present some codes for everyone, and I hope that you enjoy them. So I'll hand you over to Inga, and then we'll see what we get. Thank you, universe. Yeah. Mm.
Kuona mishitiat ajat ea ke tuja hahjana ehjana tuja ke tietoče ai kuru tuju numeniana na ajate. Kua tuishi tiedät nahjerat nuni nianana niekatajasetet aia ke tuja tuiti. Hahjana o shuhjunu amnaratia ke tujuta e. Hejata amnare tuateki jatusa a. Eata taine hieta tuijatiki eata nuhjeranu apnereta shekjeratu tietu atu e. Ashata pastui tiedät nuret kieratu atuatessa. Keat anne hemnere tujasotia mahananaja te iaku. Uustutu tujutu kututata shehejata tuti stutu kiutu ata äkität ajertu I tutu shutu nahja tui. Juttu tata shiku tutu shuhunda. Hierata hieratu amnaketaia ui.
I
Supaiketia.
just feel like I need to move that body into an embodied state and wiggle it down to my base. That's bringing in lots of joy, Joy.
Yeah, it is. It
Just
is.
wiggle it in, everyone. Wiggle it in. Oh, it's like what we've been talking about is the unification
Mm,
or and the blending back into oneness as we
yeah.
connect. That
Mm,
came through very nurturing as well. Let us know how you felt with those codes. And I've got some codes coming as you can see.
mm,
Yala angara kuish ang kai e son ungro ba krikianta. It is about the expansion of the soul's journey. Da elagianto o makiata na si makiata and the smooth transition. Yes, please. Kianomagrabaki tane ishimakiatan to take flight. Ala masubayangiata is to open up your mind and heart. Alagianto o makushmaki and agrakiatan esimakiatan. And it's the whole embodiment of this conversation today. It's that whole knowingness of that we're moving into our mastery and our step up into the next knowingness of ourselves, the next
mm.
wisdom codes that come forward. Beautiful, thank you. Kia no onkora bakiata, esu bakiata, boshu makiatam, bokoshu makiatam. I just got through this, Inga. They said, you think those waves are strong? You ain't seen nothing yet. Literally, they've just said that in my hero. And it's like you haven't seen anything yet.
Uh-uh.
So, which means, people, Get yourself into action and step up in moving your physical body, getting yourself in shape to hold the light so that the physical body can cope with the next waves that are coming in.
Mm,
So that we can really deepen into ourselves with a sense of that ease and grace that's starting to sort of amplify. And we all say like, oh, this is getting stronger. Oh, this is good. And then it becomes our new normal because we can hold the frequency rather than thinking, oh, here it comes again, I'm getting more pain. Do something about it where you then take charge of that unification of the masculine and feminine energy within and the repercussions of the energy moving through you, that the physical body can actually cope with these influxes
mm.
rather than uh, uh. So these practices are really, 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 really going to be essential as we move throughout the rest of this year. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
There's another thing I want to share when it comes to practices, just briefly. We used it several times already, Nicola. It came into me in beginning of January when I was meditating and I did some energy work, and suddenly I connected to Gaia, and suddenly she opens up something at her core that looks like a bluish white crystalline mandala, where these leaves are kind of
Mhm.
spreading out all over. And from that, she sent this bluish white, very, very strong beam up. And
Mm.
she said, finally, I can release and support you on these levels.
Yeah.
So I'm holding you, I'm holding all on humanity
Mm.
in support. But it works even stronger if you're going to do something and you start to connect with that first. So you have that place of grounding and support to kind of sit in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it
It's
gives
the deepening
immense.
with that
Mm,
connection that is perceived to be outside of yourself, which is actually
mm,
you illuminating more, you
yes.
amplifying, but it's
Yeah.
also the deepening within the grounding.
It is.
I did a light language transmission for my Patreons actually the other day. Um, and that transmission was all about really deepening into grounding and that real sort of urgency of knowing that we need to, it's sort of like anchoring deeper in. You're not sort of like hooking into the system and back binding yourself to Gaia, but it's like if you're on a boat, you might want to hold on to the side. It's
Mm,
that sort of energy, but you hold on tighter. But the energy that runs through the physical body needs to be anchored deeper into her. So she's inviting us in and supporting us. Is there been at any time that any of you out there, and Inga in particular, because I'm having a conversation with you, Inga, but let me know in the comments, have you ever stood next door, right next door to a tree and anchored yourself into the root of the tree? Because that through my healing journey, when I've been in my lowest of low,
mm,
has saved me many, many times by me literally putting my back against a tree and just assist me, please. I'm hero service and I just need a little bit of help at the moment. And that anchoring of that tree. Have you ever done that? And that's a silly question for me to ask because I know you do, but have you ever done that, Inga?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I mean, I think trees are some of the tools I've used most of
Yeah.
everything like that in stones.
Mm.
They have, I know after I got divorced, I had a hard time and I was living in a place where, with a very steep hill. So there are trees, a different type of trees growing on different latitudes. So I used to walk around those trees and ask for healing wherever I went, and every tree had different type of support
Yes.
to give me. And I mean, I've been speaking to trees all my life, and they like our older brothers and sisters,
Oh my,
and
I'm getting
they
tingles all
are,
over.
and
I
they are.
I could not be somewhere without trees around me.
No, no, can't it can't happen. Just
No,
can't
it's
happen.
just I need
Just
trees.
can't happen. No.
They're
So
so beautiful beings. They're so beautiful. So if any of you are sort of like in need emotionally and you sort of feel that, "Well, what is it that I can do to ground myself?" Grab hold of a tree and love that tree, and that tree will start to respond to you. If you place your hands around the tree and face on, you are giving the tree a hug. You can receive data from a tree because it's a pure conduit of light. And when you put your back to a tree, this is my perception of it anyway, is when you put a back to a tree, it will assist you and literally take. I've been on a tree once before and I physically felt the energy move out of my back heart. It was that powerful, this beautiful old oak tree. And
Mm,
it will literally just take the energy out. So use your breath, ground into the tree, allow
mm,
yourself to ground into Gaia, connect into your own intuitive way of doing it. But a tree is something that absolutely through these intensities of energy will assist us all also, as well as obviously all of these beautiful video
mm.
contents. And if you want to sort of connect with Inga in the future, we'll put all the links below. So if you want to have a dream interpretation, any work with Inga, with her beautiful assistants, she'll be there of service. The other thing is when I do my high connection group, healing group healings, Inga comes along, and sometimes we also do group healings together. So we'll have to get another one of those online because they're really very powerful. We've done a couple, but we need to do another one, Inga,
Yeah, need to
to be
find that.
present. Is there anything that you want to leave our listeners with? A little nugget of inspiration or wisdom that you would like to speak of?
Turn things upside down. That's been one of my greatest help my entire life.
Yeah,
Because when we get into experience, we automatically dip into the negative part of it so often. But you switch it upside down, you got another side of the story, and it breaks through
yeah,
everything else, and it kind of lifts you and enlightens you and said, "Ah, it can be like that too. I
yeah,
doesn't need to stick that. I can be like that too."
yeah.
Yeah.
We can look at the things from both sides of the coin, but to
Mhm.
focus on the light,
Yeah.
that beautiful
And it's
inversion into
true.
positivity. Yeah,
Yeah, because we're so used to translating a situation into certain emotions and certain stuff, right? So we automatically go there instead of stop and say, "Oh, is that the real reality? Is that the real true of this situation?"
mm.
And when you stop and ask for that clarity, a whole different scenario often appears. That takes you out of it. So make it simple.
Yeah.
Take a
Make
walk
it
to the tree.
simple, invert it,
Yeah,
see the positive in it all,
yeah,
self-talk, and go hug a tree.
yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for joining me. I
Thank
do
you
want
for
to
having
start
me.
doing more guest speaking videos here because it gives a different perspective of, sort of having other people sort of speaking here. So I do hope that this video will be of use for you. Please like and subscribe. Have a check out of all my details and all Inga's details. And then we are here. We're of service. Share the video out to other people if you feel that they would benefit of it. So from Inga, Arnes, and myself, I thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you all very soon.
Have a great day.
Bye.